that was my pose. It's like, I'm not you, you're not me, and...
Synanon was a California-based rehabilitation organization that started in the late 1950s and officially disbanded in 1991. Since then, it has been recognized as a cult. The organization has been responsible for acts such as violent intimidation of its members, attempted murder of a prosecuting lawyer, and forced sterilization of its members as well. Central to life in Synanon was the game. This excerpt on what the game was comes from an interview with Dorothy Bulmer, a former member of Synanon who joined with her family in 1970 as a teenage girl.
And so all of us, all 6 of us, we all started going. And according to age group, you go with kids your age. And then Auntie Susie and I went with the younger kids. And my mom and dad became involved in a group of adults, and then pretty much started right away. And then you get introduced to the game, and that's for basically all ages. And that's part of what they believe, or they believed that was effective, is being able to talk about anything.
Okay. So you participated in the game?
Yeah, you basically had to.
You had to?
You had to.
Okay.
Yeah, I hated it.
So what was the game?
The game is...
Because I've heard...
Well, you sit in a circle, and you go into they have all these rooms. They're game rooms. And they almost remind me of padded cells. I mean, they were, because you're next to the other people and the other people. It's usually about, I don't know, between 12 to 18 people, I'm just saying. And you're in a circle, and sometimes you have an elder or somebody that kind of leads you off or whatever. But the first time I went into a game, I'm sitting here with my friends, and the ones that have been in Synanon a while, they go right to your jugular. Mm-hmm. They just say, "You think you're so this? You think you're so," and I'm like, "What? I thought you were my friend." I mean, you know what I mean? It was very, very surprising.
Confrontational.
It was, yeah, but you weren't allowed to threaten any violence. Uh-huh. That was like big no.
Right.
But you could say anything else, basically, like obscenity. Either, like some people found a lot of healing by being able to be with their family or somebody that hurt them and go back and say, and really get deep. Okay. I didn't really, that wasn't my idea of a good time to publicly, say anything to my dad or whatever. And my mom was always, very sweet to us, just like how you knew her. Mm-hmm. So I really wasn't used to people attacking me like this. Mm. So I didn't come, my dad would get crazy when he would drink, and he had a bad temper, but, he wasn't, this was like your own friends and your peers and yeah. So the game, I hated them, but so I ended up. I don't know if you want my story, but I ended up like whenever I would have to go, basically shutting down or just kind of. And then when I lived with older women, and I was like the only young woman there because of my circumstance, which we'll get into later. I basically just sat and did. Yeah. That was my pose. It's like, I'm not you, you're not me, and,
Right.
And you could do that, because I didn't really, and that's but that's all part of it. When I lived there, I had to protect myself.